Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and this is Star Wars, The Clone Wars, Season 7, Episode 2, A Distant Echo. Welcome, everybody. Before I get started here, I want to take care of a little bit of business first. If you like what you see here, hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe down there. If you're still on the fence about subscribing at the very end of this video, you're going to see a video pop up here. Basically, what YouTube does takes the algorithms of all the stuff that you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. One of the videos, my vast video library, and pops it up there just for you. Up here is going to be Project Blue Book. Is what's going to be up there for you. You can hit the bell down below and find out when I'm going to be on next, but it's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. The best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule that I have up there. I change it out every Monday. I also put that up on my Facebook page as well. And speaking of Facebook, there's a Facebook group page where you guys can talk amongst yourselves, post stuff, and all that kind of good stuff on there. I have a Twitter and Instagram, and I also have a Patreon page, but no tier set as of yet. So let's get to this. Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you haven't seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. All right. So, of course, we have a continuation from the first episode last week. And the Bad Batch, along with Rex and now Anakin Skywalker. Well, first, actually, we see Anakin talking to a pregnant, now a visibly pregnant Padme. So we know we're coming up on Revenge of the Sith. Is that what it was? I can't remember what it was. The episode 3 is what we're coming up on. And we're coming up on it quickly. Is what we're doing here. See a movie for nobody. So yeah, it's we know it's coming up pretty quickly. Rex is in his confidence and Anakin's confidence, and we also find out that Obi-Wan knows about them already as well. So Obi-Wan, lets them go and look for Echo, even though it's probably a long shot. And so the Bad Batch, along with Rex and Anakin, go to this planet where they've tracked Echo's signal, and they track him down essentially. And we find out that Wrecker is afraid of heights. Crosshair, I finally got to see a little bit more of his face mask, and actually, I like it. It's really kind of cool. I like his trooper helmet with a little bit wider of a vision port, if you will, over his right eye, so he can see better when he's targeting things. And I'm kind of digging that one. Tell you the truth, I'm waiting to see someone cosplay that one, just because it looks really fucking cool. And if you will. And we find out what happened to Echo is that, yeah, he is still alive. He's being hooked up to a machine, and they're basically pumping his brain for information is what they're doing there. Yeah. So it's very, very interesting how they're doing this. And of course, we leave off with Tech and Rex along with Echo, and they're trying to unplug him from the machine. And that's where we left off. So, of course, we have a third part. Excuse me. That's what these episodes have been for the last couple of seasons. Is we have a 3 to 4 episode arc, and it looks like we're still doing that in this last season 7. So yeah, not a bad episode all the way around. Got a little bit of action in it. We moved the story along a bit. Kind of slow in the beginning with the whole Anakin thing, talking to Padme. You could tell is padded out just a little bit on that end. And that's just because they wanted to time it so that they left it where they did. Yeah. No, it wasn't that abrupt, Penn. They did it purposely so that they could leave it for the next episode. They left it off at a good. It wasn't as abrupt as Avenue 5. Avenue 5 is like mid sentence and they cut it off. Yeah. Yeah, it's Dave Filoni has better timing. Let's just say that, a lot better timing than the people are doing Avenue 5. So yeah, good stuff. I'm interested to see where this is going at this point. Why they brought back Echo, and what this means for the clone troopers and what this means for the separatists. If Palpatine was all involved in this as well. Um, yeah, so we'll see what happens here. You still haven't watched the previous seasons yet? Yeah. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. Yeah, it is typical Clone Wars fashions with the endings. You get those little cliffhangers. They're doing the serial thing. That's why they have the voiceover in the beginning. And I like the voiceover. The United. What is it? Planets United or Planets Divided, and they start going into it's almost like a newsreel kind of thing that they're doing. And I love those openings, quite honestly. They're very very serial, 1930s 40s serial kind of stuff. And that's what, when Filoni was working on this with, Lucas, that's what they wanted. They wanted to do more of a serial kinda thing, and, I like that. It's cool. And as a kid, I think I've said this before, my local TV station used to show all those serials and stuff like that. So I've seen the Flash Gordon, the 30s and 40s serials, Captain America, Batman, all that kind of stuff. They showed that on TV. Um, it was a weird station. That's all I can say. They used to play that kind of stuff, and it was cool. And so I understood where it was coming from. I knew where George Lucas was coming from with this stuff, and yeah, it's actually kind of fun in a way. And I think also, it's geared towards kids as well, definitely. It's animated, not saying that all animated stuff is geared towards kids, but this one definitely is, and it has that feeling, you know, this more than anything else, but still is good enough for adults as well. There we go. So good stuff. Looking forward to next week. I guess we'll get a trailer at some point in time this week, and we'll find out what happens. That's one thing I don't like about Disney Plus is you don't get trailers for the next week, for the next week's episodes. Disney Plus does, I mean, not Disney Plus, DC Universe does it, where they give trailers for the next week's episode. Um, who else is doing weeklies? Streaming services. That's all I can think of, quite honestly. I want a trailer for the next week. Disney Plus, you got to work on that a little bit. That's all. Build some excitement for the next week. I know you guys are using Twitter and whatnot, but fuck, man, use your streaming service. That way, if people have to go onto your streaming service to take a look at next week's trailer, they're probably going to go, "Oh, what else is on there?" So, yeah, yeah. Certain YouTube channels are just promo. I know, Joker. Yeah, I just don't feel like having to go on YouTube for everything. I figure, Disney Plus would think about it and say, "Hey, you know what? If we did the promo for next week's episode on our own streaming service, people might actually stick around and watch some of the other stuff that's on there." I know I have. I watched The Imagineers that was on there. It's a really good, if you haven't watched The Imagineers on there, I highly recommend it. It's a cleaned up version of Disney's, empire, if you will, but it's still interesting, some of the behind the scenes stuff. Dennis, do you remember the late '70s show called Cliffhangers with, 3 20-minute shows? Or I don't. Yeah, I don't remember that. Yeah, The Imagineers is really good, and it's, basically talking about how Disneyland was built, and then, so each episode goes into different, decades of Disney and what happened, and who, basically under different CEOs of Disney. And, so, like, when it was under Walt, when it was under Roy, when it was under, Eisenberg? I can't remember his name now. Um, and so on and so forth, and, all the different things that had happened, and how, different Disneylands were born and all that kinda stuff. So some interesting stuff that was in there. And then also some of the rides that they did, how they developed them and how they came about, and the Imagineers that built them and all that kind of stuff. Sorry, you're gonna hear demons spawn from hell. They decided to come out and scream. So there we go. So what else do I have going on? Excuse me. Besides this cough still. Tomorrow is going to be Saturday morning blast off where I take the genre news of the week and any other genre stuff you guys want to talk about and talk about it. Sunday is going to be a new show called Dispatches from Elsewhere. Actually, Sunday is the day that it premieres, and then the following week it starts off on Monday. That's what's going to go on. So that's actually going to move to Mondays once it does its premiere on Sunday. Actually, I think it's going to do episode 1 on Sunday, and then yes, that's on AMC. And then Dispatches from Elsewhere is AMC, yeah. And then I believe the second episode is going to be right on Monday. There we go. So it's going to be a double whammy. Tuesday, of course, is going to be Project Blue Book. Wednesday and Thursday, I'm off. And Friday, of course, we come back around again to Clone Wars. So, yeah, this month, March coming up is going to be, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out. Yeah. So, and yes, I will get to Altered Carbon, although it's not looking too good for season 2 at the moment. I fell asleep squarely in the middle of episode 2. I got to go back and rewatch it because I mean, it just kind of bored the shit out of me. That's right. April is Harley and Future Man. That's going to be a little bit of a conundrum for me because Harley and Future Man are on the same day. Yeah, I'm not digging that Harley and Future Man are on the same day. So we'll have to figure something out on that one. Although Harley's not that bad. It's easy to do a review of that one. Someone emailed you a string of cursing about Altered Carbon. Nice. Yeah, it's this one's a rough one, and I kind of knew it going in. I said this before. Anthony Mackie, great in ensemble pieces if there are other people that he can play off of, but as leading man, I'm still not sold on him, and I'm still not sold on him as the leading man in this series. It's kind of rough. It's almost like someone reading the novel to you is how it's playing out, which is not good. Yeah. Yeah. It's and I'm only like I said, I fell asleep in the middle of episode 2, woke up in the middle of episode 3, and I'm like, okay, I need to go back again. So yeah, the thing is they just kind of continued on from season 1. There's nothing really new about it. Although Michael Shanks is in it uh in season 2 from Stargate SG-1, for those of you who don't know. From Well, first it started off on Showtime and then it ended up on Sci-Fi Channel. That's the only sci-fi series I realize now that actually lasted a while. Yeah, he played Daniel. And he's looking old too. I'm kind of surprised. I didn't recognize him at first. Queen Sano. I don't know what Queen Sano is. But anyway, I don't want this to go longer than the episode actually was. So I'm going to wrap things up. Oh, it's on Netflix, Queen Sano. Okay. So I'm going to let you guys go for the evening. I will see you guys tomorrow for Saturday Morning Blast Off. There's a lot of interesting news for Saturday Morning Blast Off. A lot of interesting news. That's why I didn't want to get into it tonight on that one. So I will see you then. And until then, Remember, like, share, and subscribe. Take a look at the video at the very end of the video. At the end of this video, you're going to see a video pop up here if you're still on the fence about subscribe. Otherwise, you may end up in a turbo lift with a a guy who doesn't like gravity, named Wrecker. Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.